Hi, I'm Amai, and I love money. But do you know what I love even more? Making comics, of course. So, if I'm able to make money off comics, then I'm pretty happy. Today I'll be talking about how much money I made from comics in 2023. Of course, I'll be talking about where and how I made that money too. First, for some context, let me tell you about my comics. Mira is my girls love rom-com comic that has been ongoing on WEBTOON for almost 3 years now. In that time, it's updated over 150 times, accumulated close to 3.5 million views, and has over 30,000 subscribers. City of Souls is my significantly less popular isekai comic, standing at just over 50,000 views and 3,500 subscribers, which is 10% of the subscribers I have on Mira. City of Souls is also on NamiComi, where it has a little over 100 followers, which is relevant, I promise. In 2023, I had 3 sources of income from my comics: Patreon, WEBTOON, and NamiComi. I'll run through each of these platforms detailing the exact numbers, starting off with my lowest source of income, WEBTOON. And you may be surprised to hear WEBTOON is at the bottom of the list considering the size of my audience there. My income on WEBTOON can be further broken down into 2 sources: creator rewards and ad revenue. Starting with the smallest of the 2, creator rewards, or the creator rewards program, was a monthly payout for WEBTOON's canvas creators based on the number of views they had accumulated in said month. These payouts ranged from $100 for 40,000 views all the way up to $1,000 for 1.5 million views. Now, let me emphasize that 1.5 million monthly views is an insanely large number to reach. So large that likely less than 50 creators on the entire platform were able to reach it. I personally was only ever able to meet the $100 threshold. The Creator Rewards program was officially discontinued in January of 2023, making my total revenue from this program in 2023 $100. Next, let's talk about my second source of income from WEBTOON, ad revenue. And if you thought my $100 a month was sad, wait until you hear about this. I only started keeping track of my per month ad revenue in March of 2023, so please excuse the missing data. You'll be able to get a pretty good idea nonetheless. As you can see from the chart shown, ad revenue is super inconsistent. In April, I got 14 cents for every 1,000 views. Meanwhile, in June, I got 28 cents. On average, I got 22 cents per 1,000 views. WEBTOON only pays out ad revenue once you've hit a threshold of $100, and I hit that threshold 4 times in 2023, making my total income from ad revenue on WEBTOON $400. This brings my total revenue on WEBTOON in 2023 to $500. Next, let's move on to my second largest source of income in 2023, NamiComi. And again, this may seem surprising considering I only have a little over 100 followers there, but let me explain. For those who aren't aware, NamiComi is a fairly new webcomic hosting site. It's still currently in beta and has fairly low site traffic at the moment, at least compared to the big platforms like WEBTOON and Tapas. Every month, NamiComi runs a contest for its creators with cash and translation prizes. Now, as of January, the cash prizes have been discontinued because of a new program they're launching. I joined November's contest, which also just happened to be the month with the most qualifying applicants. First place got $2,000, second got $1,000, third got $500, and runner-up places 4 through 10 got $150 each. On top of this, the top 3 got the first 3 episodes of their series translated. I placed third in the end, receiving a translation of my series into Spanish. Yes, I got to choose, and yes, I did give that power over to my readers. And the $500 cash prize, of course. This brings my total revenue from NamiComi up to $500, which is the same as WEBTOON. Or so you may think. But you see, NamiComi also has a subscription function similar to Patreon, where users can choose a tier to subscribe to in exchange for rewards. There's currently no way to distribute the rewards on the platform directly, but I do believe that's a planned function. I just set up a tip jar for anyone who felt generous enough to give me $1, and someone actually did. So my actual income from NamiComi in 2023 ended up being $501.34. I launched my Patreon in April of 2023, focusing solely on Mira content. That's my larger series, in case you forgot. At launch, I only had one $3 tier, offering 1 week early access to episodes, exclusive illustrations, and behind-the-scenes content. 9 people joined, making me $27 in my first month. By May, I had 14 active members and made $36. In June, I was at 18 active members, making me $46. In July, I still had 18 active members, although I only made $43 that month due to people canceling, things like that. In August, I expanded my Patreon, launching a $5 tier with extra early access and rewards, and a $10 tier which actually didn't offer any new rewards, but just existed for those who wanted to support me. I had seen the support tier thing suggested in a video before, so I decided to give it a go. My patrons shot up from 18 to 26 after the launch of these tiers, bringing me up to $100 for that month. My Patreon was intended to substitute the losses from WEBTOON's creator reward program ending, and this was the first month I actually achieved that, so I was over the moon. From there, my Patreon kept on growing. In September, I had 32 patrons, giving me $141. In October, I had 36 patrons, giving me $165. In November, I had 42 patrons, giving me $171. And finally, in December, I had 47 patrons, giving me $205. Surprisingly, I had 6 people join my $10 extra support tier during this year. Not all of them stayed subscribed, but I appreciated it nonetheless. I was worried no one would join the tier, but putting myself out there turned out to be very worth it. My income from Patreon in 2023 ended up being just shy of $1,000, coming out at $934. And yes, this is after all of Patreon's fees. Without fees, I would have almost made another $250. So, to recap, I made $500 in WEBTOON, $501 from NamiComi, and $934 from Patreon, bringing my income from comics in 2023 to a grand total of $1,935. Rounded, of course. Now, honestly, this is only $100 more than what I made last year, and that was without NamiComi and Patreon. It goes to show how much of effect the discontinuation of the creator reward program had on my income. Not only that, but ad revenue was significantly higher last year. Despite getting similar views last year, I made double the ad revenue. There is lots of big changes happening in my comic career this year, so I'm both nervous and excited to see what happens. I'll aim to make an extra $100 in 2024 too. And when the time comes, I'll share my income once again. So make sure you subscribe so you can watch my journey take shape. And if you like this video, leave a like and maybe leave a comment if you found anything interesting or helpful. I plan to make many more videos in this coming year and hope you can join me on my little YouTube adventure. I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, evening, or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!